Hey, wrestling fans, F and true followers, and members of the YWC. Brian Crazy.
JC Styles.
And we're back. We are the F&M brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. We are back with our Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw just went off the air. Today is February 13th, 2012. It was a great night on Raw. JC, you want to cover the first segment?
Yes, overall, just give a quick thought. There's a lot of build-up going into Elimination Chamber this coming Sunday, and there's a lot of speculation on what's going to happen. The one good thing about the Elimination Chamber is it's another one of those matches that you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Kofi Kingston could come out winning the WWE Championship. You just don't know in these particular matches. Now, the first ever on Monday Night Raw, we saw a Elimination Chamber debate with CM Punk, R-Truth, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Chris Jericho, and Kofi Kingston. They all made really great points on why they're all going to they're each going to go out winning the WWE Championship. But the outcome of all this is R-Truth wants to trade Vicky Guerrero and Dolph Ziggler to SmackDown for a box of spiders and hornswoggle so he can make spider stew, which is high in protein and low in calories. And also won't be talked down to by anyone who has the same name as Flipper. This also leads into a one-on-one match between Chris Jericho and Kofi Kingston, which we see Chris Jericho pick up the win.
But before Chris Jericho even picks up the win, right as this debate is coming to a close, Kofi Kingston actually gets the better of Chris Jericho and lays him out. Then we go into the match. Kofi looks like he almost has this won. Chris Jericho kicks out. They go back and forth for another minute. This is where we see Chris Jericho get the thumb to the eye, if I'm not mistaken, hit the code breaker, 1, 2, 3, he picks up the win. To further what JC had to say, I think Sheamus said it best last week. Historically, one title changes hands at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. It always has.
Yes.
So what is going to happen this Sunday? We just don't know. Is CM Punk going to walk out WWE Champion? Is Daniel Bryan going to walk out World Heavyweight Champion? We will know come this Sunday. So we go into the next segment, which is John Cena and Zack Ryder backstage. John Cena is worried about Zack Ryder, and, you know, not trying to poke fun at anybody, but that contraption he has on is just absolutely something else. I do have to say. I mean, my mom had multiple levels of her spine fused over the years, and I've never seen anything like that, just to throw that in there. But moving on. Then we go into a backstage segment with David Otunga and John Laurinaitis. Otunga has a plan to somehow make Laurinaitis the GM of not only Monday Night Raw, but also Friday Night SmackDown. Do I feel that the brand extension might be coming to an end if this happens? I guess only time will tell.
Who knows? Also, right before a commercial break, we see Shawn Michaels walking into the building, and maybe gets, I think, maybe about 5 or 6 feet into the building, and he sees Triple H. Walks over, gives him a hug, and then we go to a fade blackout screen when we see Big Show and Orton for coming up right after the commercial break.
That's correct. And right as we come back from commercial break, Daniel Bryan is making his way down to the ringside area.
Yes! I love it. World Champion, yes!
The current World Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Bryan, the man who has defeated all the odds and remained World Heavyweight Champion, comes down to the ringside area. He isn't exactly on commentary. He's just kind of sitting next to the announce position.
It's
so hilarious because throughout this match, Michael Cole is praising
his ass.
Exactly, praising him, kissing his ass. And then as soon as he gets up, he's like, you know what, that Daniel Bryan...
Yeah, exactly.
You know what, though? Where would the WWE be without Michael Cole? Try to imagine another heel commentator.
Come on. The guy who actually had to wear shirts over his face and put his finger in his nose along with Kevin Kelly. Oh, and guys, I'm going to put the link in the description box for this WrestleMania promo. It is funny. It is The Rock with Coach at WrestleMania 18. It is a funny promo, and just please check it out and then leave your comments on our video letting us know what you thought of the promo. It's just hilarious, classic Rock.
But you have to agree, though, Michael Cole actually becoming kind of a heel guy is more credible than Coach becoming whatever.
Well, Coach was a heel.
Coach was horrible.
He was heel for like when Bischoff was running Raw.
Yeah, no, Coach was like horrible.
Also, please, while we're on the topic of TNA for just a brief second, Vince Russo, okay, granted, the whole story, everything that's going on over in TNL.
He did great things in the WWF, but he had a filter through Vince McMahon. When he went to WCW, he did not have that same filter. Same with TNA wrestling.
Exactly. If we see Russo come back to the WWE, it'd be kind of interesting because we would know that would kind of break the PG just a little bit, because he'd be the kind of person to keep pushing and pushing at that envelope.
The WWE is just such a different structure now. I just don't see it happening. I honestly just don't see it happening. But let's keep this thing rolling.
Yeah, we see. I'll let you finish up with the match because I want to definitely handle the next promo.
Well, we'll definitely both touch on the next promo because there was parts of it. We were talking about the promo before we started this review, and there's definitely parts that we both noticed and we want to talk about. But for the match, Randy Orton did pick up the win over Big Show via disqualification when Daniel Bryan got involved and hit Randy Orton with the World's Heavyweight title belt. That's about it. Then we go into the big promo of the night. We see HBK, Shawn Michaels, come out.
Yeah, we see Shawn Michaels come out. Basically talks about how, he hadn't done it in a while and he was a little nervous. Playing with the fans, like he always does. Talks about his Twitter page and how people were like, well, how come you only come around during this time of year? And he talks about, well, I am Mr. WrestleMania, and it wouldn't be WrestleMania season without Mr. WrestleMania. And then he goes on, he talks about how he was hoping that he would see Triple H accept Undertaker's challenge for WrestleMania, and then he goes, I want to get to the bottom of this, and then we see Triple H, he calls his good buddy Triple H to come out. And, these guys go back and forth. They say, hey, it's been a long time. We had DX chants, we had HBK chants, one more match chants. There was just so much going on in this promo, and then we see HBK basically come out. He's like, are you going to face Undertaker at WrestleMania? And then they get into the whole spiel. Basically, HBK calls him... Well, basically, first, he goes to insult his wife, Triple H's wife. Well,
they go back and forth multiple times. We see Triple H almost make his exit out of the ring multiple times, and Shawn Michaels keeps grabbing him back like, boy, you are not walking away from me. Who do you think you are? I don't care what your position is. You are still... my protege. I was your mentor. You know what I mean? I took you under my wing.
Exactly.
Don't you remember 1997 Generation X, what I did for you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like JC said, he pokes at his wife, this, that, and the other. And then Triple H makes a very interesting comment. And I don't know how many people picked up on this, but Triple H basically says that the WWE is going to become his. Not his and Stephanie's. His. And is this how we're going to reinterject another McMahon into the storyline? I'm pretty interested. It's WrestleMania season. Are we going to see a McMahon? I want to see one McMahon come back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing before we get to what Triple H said, basically we see Shawn Michaels go, what? Is this what you're all about now, the suit? And Triple H is like, well, don't get me wrong. This is just more than the suit. It's not the suit talking. It's me talking like I always have. And then Shawn Michaels goes and turns around and says, basically, you marry that chick and then you become one of them, a corporate sellout. And then he goes, at the end of the day, when someone used to come up to you and issue you a challenge, you would know without hesitation accept it. Now you're not. You know you could do it and put Undertaker out for good, and you're choosing not to, and that's the sign of a coward. At the end of the day, you will be a coward until you step up. Then that's what led into the whole thing about Triple H taking over the company when Vince is done. Shane's off doing some kind of thing over in Japan.
No, right now he is the CEO of China Broadband Inc. They are based out of Colorado, I believe. Stephanie McMahon might be making a return. It has been speculated, but unfortunately I don't have any more information on that at this time. I'm sure they'll somehow reinterject Vince McMahon at some point.
Because it's a lot easier for Vince to come on TV than Stephanie, because she's got to get someone to take care of the kids. And
exactly.
Like
Triple H is doing his thing, and she wants to be home and be a mother, and we respect that. I've got 3 kids myself, and I love spending time with them.
And she's just so beautiful to see on TV too.
Oh, she is. Stephanie McMahon is a very, very beautiful woman. But another thing that Triple H said that was very interesting during the promo is he did not refer to The Undertaker just as a potential superstar that he would face, a potential competitor.
He
referred to it as a brand, as a true... We've gone from Triple H the superstar, now we're looking at...
Triple H the businessman.
Triple H the businessman. Triple H the McMahon, almost. You know what I mean? He's even starting to think like this. Like he's being trained in the ways. And of course, he is behind the stages. He's being trained to eventually take over the WWE, him and his wife. But it was just such an interesting promo, and you could just take so much from this, and you could just think so much about it, and I'm sure some of our views that we just said might not get expressed exactly the way we wanted them to.
Exactly.
But
you know what,
you could just... The build towards WrestleMania is just so great.
You could feel the tension between the two, because it got to the point where Shawn Michaels turned around and basically kept pulling Triple H back. He's like, no, you get back here. You look me in the eye and you tell me you don't wanna face Undertaker, and you don't wanna end the streak. Then he's talking about how Triple H turns around and is like, I'm not gonna go because you wanna live vicariously through my succeeds now that you're retired and you're home on with the wife and the kids. And he basically lays into Shawn Michaels, I'm not doing it to feed my ego, I'm not doing it to feed your ego, I'm not doing it to feed Undertaker's ego. I will not face Undertaker. And then we see the video package after, right before you thought that these two were going to basically brawl it out. We see the video package.
Yeah.
And
well, HBK makes his exit from the ring, and then the video package
hits.
And then cuts to the big screen. A little bit different of a package than last week. Very similar, though. We see the Undertaker
sitting in like this crypt chair.
Yeah, with his symbol on the rear of it. He's sitting there watching footage from the match last year at WrestleMania 27. He's got a whole bunch of newspaper cutouts and pictures on the wall. And then you see the Undertaker cutting his hair. Now, JC thinks that the Undertaker is just going insane due to the whole situation. I don't know. Is this leaning towards maybe a return of the American Badass Undertaker, Big Evil? Or, remember when the Undertaker did come back in 2004, he was sporting a slightly shorter hairstyle anyway, so that could be plausible as well.
Exactly. And, there's just so many things going in. Like Brian said before we started the video, we were talking about this promo, and there's three things that can happen. Either we could see Triple H not accept Undertaker's challenge, and we could possibly see a build-up between Shawn Michaels and Triple H at WrestleMania. That's a possible. That's not that. That's a possibility.
I think that's a little far-fetched, but anything can happen.
A lot of
the
fans
WWE.
were chanting one more match when they were staring each other down. Two, I could see Undertaker potentially stalking Shawn Michaels or stalking Triple H's wife and kids, and basically, playing mind games with Triple H and say, hey, I can get to your family whenever I want, and this is what I'm going to do if you don't accept my challenge.
Undertaker.
You
said Shawn Michaels.
I'm sorry. Undertaker stalking Shawn Michaels, or...
I was like, Shawn Michaels might be a little aggravated with him, but I don't think he's going to start stalking his family, dude.
Triple H... Undertaker stalking Triple H's family, or stalking Triple H's best friend Shawn Michaels to kind of coerce him to make a decision. We all know most likely we're going to see this drawn out past Elimination Chamber, maybe halfway through March, when we finally get a decision whether or not Triple H is going to face Undertaker. But you know it's going to happen, and it's going to probably happen one of those two ways, that Undertaker's going to go beyond that barrier and start attacking Triple H's friends and family.
It's a possibility. Anything's a possibility, and I hope that they try doing something a little bit different this time around. These promos are different. Undertaker's never going after his opponent. His opponents always seek him. So I want to see what happens. I'm very interested to see what happens. We go into the next match. R-Truth versus Dolph Ziggler. R-Truth picks up the win over Dolph Ziggler when he hits a roll-up out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, wins the match.
Basically what was going on was R-Truth was laying flat on his back. And Dolph Ziggler thought it'd be funny to show off, and he was doing 3 sit-ups. And basically, after the roll-up, out of the 3 push-ups, on the 3rd push-up, R-Truth snatches up Ziggler, gets to 1, 2, 3. And basically, this match could be tagged, the show-off gets showed up, just like Jerry the King Lawler said post-match. And, like I said, there's just so many things. This is why I love this time of year, because there's just so much going into... I mean, who knows? We could see R-Truth walk out of the chamber with the WWE Championship. We don't know. Maybe Miz and R-Truth at WrestleMania.
To be honest, I see either CM Punk, Chris Jericho, or Dolph Ziggler walking out of the Elimination Chamber with the title. Honestly,
predictions coming soon.
R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, and even the Miz are just thrown in there to balance out the mix. That, in my opinion, in just my opinion, they're great superstars. Don't get me wrong. That's the one thing here at F and True Wrestling that we believe in, is respecting the superstars. They go out there, they risk their necks for us, and like we saw last night at TNA's Against All Odds pay-per-view, Jesse Sorensen was hurt bad. He ended up suffering. I didn't get the chance to tell you yet. Jesse Sorensen ended up suffering a fractured vertebrae and some sort of spinal some sort of spinal injury. He is just getting feeling in his arms and legs back now. Yeah, so Jesse Sorensen's in real rough shape. We don't know if and when he'll be returning to the ring, but that's what I mean, guys. We gotta respect these athletes. They go out there and they give us their all, and sometimes things don't turn out the way we expected. They're human bodies. We're dealing with physics,
exactly.
And stuff happens. But then we go into the next match, guys.
What's with all the Divas and the Superstars commentating lately? There's been a lot of wrestlers commentating over the last couple of weeks.
Well, you got to remember, go back a few years.
I know, but I'm just saying that doesn't really happen as much. Now it's happening like every episode now, every show.
I think they're really trying to return to a previous format. I think they found that the previous format was successful, and they're trying to utilize some of the tools that they would have used in the past, in the present, to kind of freshen up the product once again. Old ideas in the present can be, reworked and be new ideas.
Exactly. You mind if I take this one?
Sure, go for it.
All right. Well, we see Beth Phoenix come out and sits commentary during the Tamina versus Brie Bella match. During the time we see Tamina coming out to the ring, and we see basically a Titantron shot of Beth Phoenix defending the championship at Elimination Chamber against Tamina. Now, we see Tamina pick up the win over Brie Bella. Then I was expecting to kind of see another stare down between the two, but nothing really came out of this. Also, I was watching, little tidbit real quick, I was watching WrestleMania 16, aka WrestleMania 2000, and I saw Rikishi, and the hamster started to turn on its wheel, so to speak. And I was thinking, even though that they have different style wrestling than their father, it would be kind of interesting to maybe see Rikishi return, and not as Rikishi, but as maybe Junior Fatu, like he was in the early 90s, the stand-up character that he did, and maybe train his kids more, become like a tag team manager for them, and also take Tamina under his wing because she is family related as well. I mean, guys, fan interaction part of the video, please leave us your thoughts. Let us know what you think. Could you possibly see Rikishi coming back and maybe managing his sons?
Hey, it would be an interesting scenario. I think it could do good. I don't think it could do any bad, to be perfectly honest. It would be nice to see Jimmy and Jey Uso break out as their own stars because Rikishi was so well known.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they don't want to feel like they're only getting big because their father's coattails. But in the same respect,
they're not really getting any.
They're not getting the exposure. They're not getting the time. Guys like me and JC, who are huge fans of wrestling, notice the Jimmy and Jey Usos.
Yeah.
They've got incredible amounts of talent, and yes, maybe Rikishi could help take them to that next level. Leave your comments. We're really curious. Leave your comments. So then we go into a backstage segment. This is where we see Kane force Eve into the ambulance.
Which is kind of funny because you see here this is the ambulance door, okay, so to speak. The cameraman is where you guys are. And we see Kane basically just standing right here like he's waiting for the cameraman to go, okay, we're live. And you see Eve climbing in ever so gingerly into the ambulance, and then all of a sudden you see her run all the way down, and then you finally see Kane come over after he's looking at the cameraman and closing the door. I mean, yes, WWE is scripted and everything's planned, but this made it look like so phony.
You know what was a great segment? Alright, this was great. This was about a month ago on SmackDown. It was Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton, right? Okay, so they're fighting. We understand that SmackDown's taped and it's played on Friday nights. Alright, so they have the segment with the fight in the elevator. If that wasn't bad enough, alright, well, funny enough, if you Google that, some fan here on YouTube actually took that segment and added elevator music. It was freaking hilarious. But, alright, so they get out of the elevator, they're fighting, and this is where Orton takes the tumble down the staircase.
Yeah.
So they go through the door. So the cameraman, gets right up to the edge of the door, right? And he just, chills there and waits, I'm not going to open this door anytime soon. I'm just going to stand here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
It's just so bad.
So then you see, Orton go down the stairs, and then the door opens. Yeah. And then he goes and looks like, couldn't you have edited 2 seconds of that out? It would have looked better. I have great respect for the WWE and their production qualities and what they've been able to accomplish.
Stuff like that.
I mean, our production quality is, I'm nowhere of a comparison to theirs.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. I totally agree. But I mean,
Come on.
Come on. I mean, once in a blue moon, I know we always preach respect the athletes and all this, but once in a blue moon, you see something that's so blatant, you just got to point it out. But this is where this is where John Cena makes the big save. He gets Eve to unlock the ambulance door, hop out, and this is where
it gets awkward.
I know.
And it wasn't just like peck on the cheek or kiss or peck on the lip.
Yeah.
This was like a full-on X-rated, like R-rated celebrity, like expose TMZ type shit, and it's just really funny. And then all of a sudden, like lo and behold, who's sitting right there in his wheelchair with flowers and candy? Zack Ryder. And it's funny. I was like, man, where's the guy from the Love Connection when you need one? You know?
No, you missed a critical part. He had flowers and candy, and what else did he have?
Crutches?
Not only his crutches.
A wheelchair?
Not only his wheelchair.
His headband?
Not only his headband.
His broski t-shirt?
Not only his broski t-shirt.
I don't know.
That
contraption. So no. So we go to a commercial break, and we come back, and basically Eve's trying to talk sense into Zack, and basically was like, ripped his heart right out, and was like, I didn't think we were really gonna get together. I mean, come on, I don't want to lose you as a friend. We can be friends. And then you just hear the fans just go, oh, like, you know exactly what every single person in that arena was saying. What a fucking bitch. I'm sorry, excuse my language. I know there's little kids watching. But, I mean, I've heard that numerous times in my life. We can be friends, and it fucking hurts.
I still can't get over that he was sitting there with the chocolates and the flowers.
Yeah, for 2 hours.
When I saw that, it was absolutely phenomenal. But let's move into the next segment. Let's get back to some wrestling. So actually, we do get one of the best wrestlers in the world, CM Punk, who is the current WWE champion, going against The Miz. Sorry guys, I gotta try to get serious again. This is a great match. There's a lot of back and forth action. We see CM Punk pick up the win over The Miz via Anaconda Vice.
Exactly.
Is that what we're going to see this Sunday? I mean, are we going to see the Anaconda Vice pulled out this Sunday? Is he going to pull out to go to sleep?
My nose is running. But
it is about 25 degrees here in Connecticut, 30 degrees. It is pretty cold.
But then we go to a commercial break just when we thought Raw was about to finish up and go off the air. We come back, and early in the night we saw the ambulance come back in pre-CM Punk The Miz match.
And a note on this too, the ambulance did not pull in, it backed in.
Yeah. So then we to close up this segment, we see Cena come out to the ring.
Not that was that really.
Yeah. So we see Cena come out to the ring and basically starts talking about how Kane turned his friends and his friends against him in the WWE Universe. And it's funny, but John, the WWE Universe was already against you before this whole storyline started. But then we see him start to talk about the fans.
We didn't see the WWE Universe become really vicious until the whole thing with The Rock started.
Yeah.
The WWE Universe always had a little bit of an issue with John Cena. I'm not going to lie. But when we saw The Rock make his return to the WWE, it upped the ante.
Yeah.
And it upped the hatred. And now that we got Kane working against him for the first time, when does Kane get the cheers?
I don't know.
And I mean, Kane is every evil act that Kane does, the fans are just eating it up. Like,
exactly.
Please push the crippled guy off the stage. Yeah. Like Jesus Christ. I mean, even I have a heart.
Then basically then you start hearing the fans. We all hate you. We hate you. We hate you. See the blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden he goes, see, it's fans like that think that they will get underneath my skin. It's been 6 years, blah, blah, blah. I don't get scared. I don't get shook. I don't back down. I will always win. And that basically what we see is we see Zack Ryder come out and slap the taste out of John Cena's mouth.
Yeah.
And then after John Cena gets slapped...
And well, first of all, he slaps the microphone right out of his hand. Then he slaps him in his mouth. This is where Cena takes off the tags and looks like it's going to be on. It looks like these two competitors are going to end up brawling. This is where Ryder makes his exit from the ring.
Yeah, we see him get ready to... Cena goes to throw a punch, and then Ryder, like, cowls in the corner. He's like, just stay away from me. And he goes up to the turnbuckle, and then we see Kane cut a promo on the Titantron. And he goes, I've managed to turn you, your friends against you, your fans against you. Now it's time for you to embrace the hate, because on Sunday you're not gonna be seen until WrestleMania. because your soul and body is leaving in an ambulance and not to be seen again. And then we see Cena go and pick up the mic, and then we see Kane sneak up behind Ryder and throw him right off the stage. And then that's how basically we end Raw, with Ryder being carted off for, like, I think, what is it, the second time in like 3-4 weeks?
Oh, I mean, my God. I mean, I know I've said it in previous videos. I'm a fan of Zack Ryder. Don't get me wrong. The guy has sound technical wrestling ability. I've seen the guy wrestle in person compared to what you guys have seen on TV. It's a lot different. Seeing the guy at a house show is a different thing. And for any of you guys that have seen Ryder in person, you know what I mean. Ryder is a great athlete. But was Ryder a little overexposed? Was that the mysticism of Zack Ryder's, that, hey, we were all chanting for him when we got to see him once in a blue moon? We were like, yeah, Ryder. Yeah. And we were all behind him. Did he get overexposed? Maybe a little bit. But to constant, I mean, I can't even...
Constant beatings.
Well, JC, can you even fathom the contraption he's going to have to wear now to come back?
I have no idea. I don't even want to know.
The thing, I mean, the guy's going to come back in like a full body cast, and oh my God. If Ryder comes back in a full body cast next week, I don't know what I'm going to do.
But, so guys, closing thoughts. Overall, Raw was very interesting going into Elimination Chamber. I'm definitely looking forward to SmackDown this Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Please stay tuned for our predictions. We're either going to get those up tomorrow afternoon or early Wednesday morning, so please stay tuned for those. So, in closing, please check out Effin' True Entertainment, our sister channel, Brian's Fight Nation Wrestling, and FightNationWrestling.com. Also, check out We Are Pro Wrestling, our good buddies over at Most Extreme Wrestling, Crystal and Chronic, the first ever husband and wife to review wrestling in the YWC. Also, check out our good buddy XBA 325 and Champagne Shane, who's just starting up on YouTube. All the links for those great channels will be in the description box down below, so please check that out. Subscribe to them, leave comments. They do very entertaining videos. And let them know that the YWC supports every single one of them. And especially us. We know you guys support us like crazy, so thank you. And closing thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, it was a great Monday Night Raw. I do have to say, I can't wait to see what they do between Triple H and The Undertaker. I just like how the situation has been built for the last few weeks, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I can't wait to see what's going to happen this Sunday. Like JC said, we will be back with our predictions. Please check out all those channels that he mentioned. And guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being loyal fans and subscribers to all the channels that make up the Effin' brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. My name is Brian Crazy.
JC Styles.
And we will catch you later. We hope everybody has a safe, good night. And we will catch you guys a little bit later in the week.